Yo, what's up? What's up? Welcome back. Welcome back to the channel. Wherever you're tuning in from, social media or YouTube, welcome. I'm Coach Don. And if you stumbled across this video, that's great. Glad to have you. Here I discuss and talk about things that are not discussed in our community and things that matter to us. Some things that you probably don't talk about with your friends, family, but we're going to discuss them. So if that's you and that's your interest, glad you're here. Welcome. You know what I mean? If anything you want to discuss, put in the comment, like, subscribe, and let's see how this journey goes for us over the course of time. All right, so we're going to dive into some things that matter. And if there's anything that you want to discuss that matter to you, feel free. Hit me up in the comments, and I'll try my best to tap on these things and tackle some of the discussions that we should be having or need to be having amongst your community, our community, and the people that's around you. All right? Tune in. Stay tuned. If you missed something, you can always go back and check it out. But if not, let's talk about them, man. That's how we're going to actually accomplish and reach some of the goals that we all want in life. If we don't talk about these things, so they need to be discussed. All right. All right. So if you've been tuning in recently, I discussed some things that affect us today in today's economy, like the way we eat, and our finances, and also some of the people around us. But I just want to bring to your attention, if you're not aware, but this is a common thing in our country, and that's this: 78% of people are living paycheck to paycheck. And with the hike of the inflation and the economy and the rising prices, I'm sure those numbers can go up. That was the numbers from 2023. 78% of people are living paycheck to paycheck, which means they're struggling financially, can't catch a break. So if you sum them numbers up and you evaluate the people around you, including friends and family, that's 8 out of 10 people around you that are financially struggling in today's economy. So that's tough. And also, if you look at statistics I've read, that in 2023, it was 49% of Americans can't cover $1,000 emergency, which that's 5 out of 10. You know the numbers. That's 50% of the people. High earners, low earners, and that's people that's just out and about. You know what I mean? So 5 out of 10, that's rough. So 50% of the people in the U.S. can't cover $1,000 emergency. What that means is those people who can't cover that emergency, first thing they're going to resort to when the emergency happens is a credit card. And now what happens with that credit card, they borrowing money that they don't have, and in hopes to pay it back later, in hopes to take that paycheck that they're struggling with, living paycheck to paycheck, and start to pay that credit card bill off. And what happens with that credit card bill is that credit card bill interest goes up. So what little money you do give on that credit card to cover that emergency bill, it goes nowhere. You know what I mean? And you know how them examples is. We could talk about them all day long. But whatever you put on that credit card, you got to realize almost 30% of that goes to interest. So just subtract 30% of that, what you put on that credit card, and say it's gone. It goes to the credit card people. All right, so let me just keep going with this, and I'm gonna tell you, there is some things that we can do to not fall under them lines of almost putting ourselves in a financial bind because we can't cover emergency. And it's some steps we can take. It's some simple strategies that we can come up with and talk about to get you out of that situation. And it might not be you or your circumstances, but like I told you, it's 8 out of 10. So those people around you, whether you know it or not, are struggling. They're going to talk about it. They're not going to talk about it. They're not going to tell you that. But just know you better be there for that person when they need you for that emergency. You know what I mean? I'm going to tell you, you get them calls, you get friends and family that rely on you, and if you're not in that situation to help, you're going to be telling them no. But the better option is helping them understand how to get themselves out of that situation and not be on the verge of going into a financial bond because they didn't put money aside for emergency. We all know what a rainy day means. We all know rainy day is going to come. You know what I mean? A rainy day fund. Y'all hear that story. Your grandmother, your grandpa, and you know, your old heads from back in the day tell us put money away for a rainy day. We don't know when that rainy day is going to come, but you and I both know the forecast. It's going to rain. It's just when. Are you going to be ready to cover that emergency fund, or are you going to be that person there being relied on to help another friend or a family member get out of their own emergency? You know what I mean? So these are discussions that we're not having amongst us to know where our people are at financially, to know if they're in an emergency, to know if they're going to be in a crisis soon. You know what I mean? Because from the outside, everything looks good. Cars, bills, kids look good, they eating. And these are the same people that screaming around. And you see it on social media all the time. Rent paid, mortgage paid, bills paid, I'm good. Right? My bills is paid, good. Or they say something like adulting. You know what I mean? And adulting. My bills is paid, so I'm good. But you gotta realize this stuff. Just having your bills paid is not gonna get you over that hump. You know what I mean? It's not gonna get you over that hump. And it's gonna keep you in this tight bond and understand when that emergency kick off, are you gonna be able to cover your bills? And are you gonna be able to cover that expense, that emergency? All right, so we need to talk about these things and what strategies and steps we can do to wiggle through that and understand that it is a better way to start to set ourselves out of that situation. All right, we'll talk about these things. All right, so check it out. Reality check. All right, reality check. We all been in that situation, and we all know what it feels like to almost not be able to put food on the table. And some of us been in them circumstances. Some of us been in those situations where it's tough and we struggle to put food on the table, clear bills every month, make them car payments, make that rent or mortgage payment, make that electric bill. You know what I mean? Which recently electric bills went up because somehow in our area they made us pay for meters. And I'm pretty sure everybody got a taste of that. So your electric bill went up, the gas bill went up, insurance, stuff like that. And the rising cost of the economy alone, it gets tough to provide and put this food on the table with the same amount, with the same income that you've been getting for the last few years, or starting a new job, or just replacing some of your bills with new bills. That happens. And then here it is now. You know, let's we know what's coming up. We got a few months left, and the holidays are coming up, which costs us so much more money. Thanksgiving, we got Halloween coming first. Halloween approaching. Thanksgiving and Christmas. And whether you know it or not, we got kids, we got children, we got loved ones that we want to celebrate these holidays with and get them gifts. So gift buying. You know what I mean? I'm gonna check out the statistics on how much money the American person spends, the average person spends over the course of holidays. I know pretty much it's a lot. But here's the thing, if you're living paycheck to paycheck and you're struggling to keep yourself barely making it, how could you spend that extra money during the holidays to cover the cost of gifts? It's tough. And I know that it's tough. We all can relate to that. We all been there. We all know how that works. But we got to strategize things and put things in perspective to get that down. So we don't have to rely on a credit card, borrow money to cover costs, or put us in a worse situation to cover these expenses that we enjoy. All right. So I'm gonna tell you, over the course of time, we're gonna come up with strategies. We're gonna talk about these things, and it's some simple steps that we all can do that we're not talking about doing that can keep us out of the realms of being tight with our budget. All right.